Warning: this video contains content that may be sensitive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up, bitches? It's Shaky. Hop in the fucking car. Honk, honk, to honk. Sounds honk, honk. Do it right now.
Oh, now.
Yeah.
Honk, honk.
We're going shopping for horse. Okay, I'm gonna start. What's up, guys? It's Shaky. We're gonna be reading some Reddit horror stories because I like drama. I like gossip. That's all. Let's start, shall we? My producer has found all of these horror stories, so I haven't read a single one, and I'm pumped. In a group chat during the California wildfires of 2020. Me. Wow, that's a crazy picture. You guys look like you're descending into Avernus. What's Avernus? Me. The setting of the campaign I've been DMing for you for the past 13 months. That would hurt my soul, I think. That, like, as a DM, I would just start to cry. Okay, how do I get to the next one? Okay, DM. You enter the dungeon to find a woman and a young boy chained up, clearly starved and tortured. Bard in our party. I immediately start looking for keys or another way to free them. Orc in our party, who we later learned had sold his soul to a devil in exchange for power. Feels like a warlock, but oh, I guess it said orc. With zero hesitation. I have my way with the woman before she's unchained. The rest of us do what the ever-loving is wrong with you. Yeah, do what the is wrong with you. Why? That's just uncomfortable. Like, you don't... Even if you're, like, evil alignment, you don't have to do that. Like, go to therapy. Leave my table. Can you imagine? Like, if somebody just said that, I would just be like, what the Alright. Was playing an evil campaign with other people. One person tries to sexually abuse another player character because he was in character. It was definitely disturbing and horrid. Whenever a player goes like, it's what my player would do, you know, like 90% of the time, it's like fucked up and they shouldn't be doing it. The other 10% of the time, they're probably like stealing and they just feel bad that they would steal, but you like chose a rogue, so obviously you're gonna steal. But like, if that's what your player would do, get a different character, because that's up. That just sounds like you want to do that, and you should leave the table. Half of these I'm just going to be like, leave the table. That's my solution. Leave the table. Okay. I left for the army in 1998 and left all of the original AD&D stuff that my father gave me with my brother for safekeeping until I was able to come home and get it. I read it as like ADD, not AD&D. I could just leave my ADD at home. That would be great. He left it in my father's attic when he moved out, so my father's new wife found it while cleaning and decided that was evil, so she burned it all, including the campaign setting I had started writing when I was 10 years old, was still intending to finish, and the set of red acrylic dye my father made me on a CNC machine at work. That's so sad. What a was it stepmom? She's a Okay, I didn't realize I would be expected to memorize things. Said after asking to loot a cart which contained only 3 things, all of which had been mentioned several times. Listen, sometimes you get a lazy player. Okay, me, DM. So you knocked her unconscious. Player while grinning from ear to ear. I have sex with her. Me, but she's unconscious. What followed was a heated argument that killed the campaign. I feel like we all, like, play out fantasies through D&D, and if that's your fantasy, go to a fucking therapist and don't join a D&D table. Because you. No point in ruining it for everyone else. Okay. New campaign. I'm the DM. One player in my group is known to be a bit eccentric. Party starts out as passengers on an airship traveling to a faraway country. Plan was to have the airship take damage and have to crash land in the middle of nowhere, thus officially kicking off the campaign. Right. So this is just starting. And a pack of harpies swoop in and attack the ship through whatever. A centric player, a dwarven barbarian, has a nice family heirloom dwarven axe and throws it at a harpy as it is landing on the rail of the airship. Rolls a nat 1, axe went over the side of the ship to the forest below as the ship steams along under attack. Player basically rage quit at that point. Typical that he doesn't think through his actions and the consequences. He likes to be very cinematic movie Cure Wish. It's an axe. Get over it. It was also like a nat 1. Like, I get it on a different one. Like, maybe you make it somehow so they don't lose it. But you're throwing an axe on a moving ship high up in the air. What did you think was going to happen? Also, if you're rage putting over an axe, go to therapy! Everybody should just go to therapy, not BetterHelp. DM tried to railroad us into a confrontation where we were supposedly forced to make an NPC abort her baby. The baby was stillborn, but she was convinced it was still alive. Okay, that just feels like a lot. You can't force somebody to abort their baby. No matter your views, you don't force another person to do anything. Either way, it's hashtag their choice. All right, we got a long one, folks. I mean, it's not really a horror story, but it's my only real negative experience, as minor as it is. I'm still really great friends with these guys and regularly play No Harm Done. So I was DMing a one-shot for some friends, only a really small group. 3 level 4 characters, druid, wizard, fighter, 3 feet each, standard array. Boss fight, I thought I had balanced relatively well, been there. It was going somewhat tough, as there was more enemies than heroes, but they were quite weak enemies. An extra objective saved the villagers from drowning, which was on an 8-round timer visible to all, and there was only 3 of them. The druid spent the first 7 rounds of combat without taking a single offensive action or trying to rescue the druids, and incurred 7 opportunity attacks because they tried to run straight past all the enemies and tried to solo the boss of the encounter. Did not go well. Yeah, it makes sense. Because of this, the other 2 players had to try and take on basically the entire encounter themselves when it was designed for 3 players. One of these players spoke to me after the game and told me he thought I needed to work on my balancing because I put too many enemies on the map and the action economy was unfair. Now, this is a pretty minor thing, but it felt pretty bad because, like, a third of your team effectively did absolutely nothing for 7 whole rounds and incurred 7 opportunity attacks and tried to solo the end boss on the other side of the map, running past 6 drowning villagers on the way, and you guys still managed to just barely survive the encounter and save 5-6 villagers. And you're saying I need to balance it better? If I had made it any easier than the druid had done anything useful during the fight, the players would have curb stomped the fight and it would have been dull as hell. Yeah, I agree. Your player's stupid. Why didn't anybody say anything to the player that was just running and doing nothing? Also, like, stop being selfish. Everyone wants to fight the boss. Not everyone wants to fight the squishies, but sometimes you gotta deal with the squishies. Everyone wants to be able to deal with the big bat. Like, this, you're not the main character. You're all the main characters. They're right. Like, if they had balanced it for not one person doing anything, then that would just been... These players are stupid. That's all I have to say. Because GMs try really hard. Balancing is hard. Have you ever tried to balance? I change things in the back mid-fight all the time because I balance incorrectly. Sometimes I give them more HP. Sometimes I give them less HP. If somebody's gonna do something stupid, I'm just gonna kill you guys, though. Consequences. DM playing a local politician whose son we had captured. He was assisting bandits in a kidnap/slavery ring. We had brought the son along in binds, dressed as a captured bandit. I see. Well, I know nothing of it. In fact, I'll double your reward if you deal with the traitorous whelp right now. Kill him. Our lawful evil mage in the party immediately and without consulting anyone, I conjure flames and touch them to the hem of the sun's garments. I read that different. I read that as he touched them somewhere else. I feel like I was just anticipating another grape story. I mean, this next one's creepy. Hold on. That one's just annoying, but like, I feel like everyone makes impulsive decisions sometimes as a character. Anyways, a player continuously talking in a creepy way of talking about how beautiful female characters were whenever they met one, including one of the player characters. You're an asshole. Leave the campaign. Player kept telling us stories about how his girlfriend uses him for... I'm sorry, I wasn't ready. Player kept telling us stories about how his girlfriend uses him for a sperm donor. Suggested almost every session that my character, the only female, sleep with the big bad evil guy. DM was conflict averse and couldn't handle setting up a new Discord server and moving everyone but the incel to it. Okay, 2 things. First of all, what a f***ing asshole. Second of all, I feel like things often get put on the DM, and I would just like to remind people that everyone's an adult here. The DM is not the parent. Everyone is at an equal opportunity to say things. The DM already does a ton, and so as a another human adult person, you can also set up the new server and talk to this person or tell them that you're not going to do it. Because expecting the DM to do everything is literally a bitchy move. That's the only way I have to describe it. I swore a lot in that video, but that's because everybody's fucking stupid, okay? Listen, I love reading the horror stories, but they just make me so mad. I'm like, where are people finding these awful players? And it, you know what? It also helps me reflect on how good my group is. My group is so wholesome. Instead of graping the enemies, they unionized the enemies. Even when they had to torture them, they wanted to let the guy go, but they ended up having to kill him because of other lore reasons and everything like that. But they always are trying to choose the better path, not raping people. If you have any horror stories, please leave them down below. I love reading them. They're so much fun. I love gossip. I love drama. I love the juicy stories. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as well. I know I already said the comment thing, but like, do it again. Comment 3 times. Comment 4 times. Comment each letter in its or word in its own separate comment, and then I'll have to filter through and figure out what sentence you were trying to form. Please don't do that. Yeah, please do it. Do whatever the you want. Who cares? I'm out. Shaky out. I am a believer. Baby, 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 I'm literally the only line of any of his songs that I know.